This is a short and straight to the bone gear guide for anyone thinking about playing a physical melee skill this league in Settlers of Kalgur. Just keep in mind that this is a reinforcement and not a replacement for any specific build guide you might be following. So, in terms of leveling, doesn't matter which kind of skill do you intend to play on late game, I would recommend leveling up with Splitting Steel, Frost Blades or the new buff Sunder. Remember to always carry your desired endgame skill gem on any empty socket as it will level with you. From time to time you may want to test them just to know how it feels until you are comfortable enough to say goodbye to any leveling skill and embrace the skill you want to play. In terms of weapons, now that gems don't have flat physical build into them, having a good weapon is the best way to scale your damage. When you enter your weapon, plus a rare or magic rusty sash, plus a blacksmith whetstone, you will get the same weapon back with the mod increased physical damage. You can also use essences if you have them around, like for example the Essence of Contempt if you wanna get flat physical. Also, you may want to benefit from having flat elemental by using Essence of Hatred, Essence of Torment or Essence of Anger. Good uniques to level are Limb Split, White Swing and Reaper's Pursuit for access, Shiver Sting and Rigswald's Charge for swords, and Gorebreaker, Brightbeak and Frost Breath for maces. Good uniques though, which can carry you through maps until even red ones, could be Sinvicta's Metal, Terminus Est and Kondo's Pride. If you are lacking damage later, check on trade for rare weapons with high physical damage DPS. Endgame uniques, which are super expensive early on, will be at Sirith's Favor and Starforge. And if you're looking for the best of the best, it will always be a rare item with more than 800 physical DPS, but they are extremely expensive and they won't be here on League Start at least for a week. In terms of sockets, you want to keep an eye open for 2 greens and 1 red. Later you will start looking for red more than green. Good gems to have are Lip Slam with life tap and faster attack for movement, Vitality and Precision for early auras, and later you may want Pride, Determination, Grace, Herald of Purity and so on. Banners no longer have reservation, and War Banner seems really strong, so I will grab that one and remember to place them because right now they no longer give us anything if they are not on the ground. And then I will have Blood Rage for easy frenzy charges. Regarding attributes, you want to get intelligence wherever you can and then some dexterity, especially on gear. Remember that during the campaign, Diala will give you an amulet with a ton of those attributes. In terms of helmet, early on you will just look for life and resistances. Good leveling uniques are Honor Home, Thrill Steel and Gold Dream. When on maps, you want to search for more life, other resistances like Chaos, Accuracy and Spell Suppression. If you want to stick to uniques, you have Devoto's Devotion or the Glass Cannon option, Abyssus. I'm not sure if in this patch we still have the mods of physical taking as elemental, so we'll have to wait and see. In terms of gloves, for leveling, try to find a Loctonial Keres for easy attack speed and charge generation. Flesh and Spirit are a good source of rampage, and Life Regen, which also has attack speed. When on maps, you want to search for more life, other resistances like Chaos, Accuracy and Spell Suppression. Once you have enough currency, try to find some with flat fees, attack speed or +1 to maximum frenzy charges. In terms of boots, check for any magic or rare boots with movement speed on vendors during the campaign. Remember that they reset when you level, so keep an eye open for those. Good uniques are Wanderlust to not get frozen, Nomic Storms gives you good movement speed, plus dexterity and some resistances. Storm Chargers are good too, but they convert the percentage of your physical damage into lightning. Or Victorious Flight for attributes and a lot of movement speed. When on maps, you want to search for rares with life, 25% or more movement speed, resistances, chance to avoid elemental ailments and spell suppression. Once you have enough currency, try to find some Onslaught on kill and Elusive or Tailwind on crit. In terms of belts, good unique belts for leveling are Machino's Girdle for flat fist, life and strength, Worm's Mold for attributes and mana leech. Belt of the Deceiver is maybe the best one, with life, increased fist, strength, reduced damage taken from critical strikes, all res, and nervy enemies are intimidated. On maps, you may want to go for a rare belt with high life resistances including chaos, strength and maybe intelligence. Also, Stygian Vice is a great option. At some point, Rislata's Coil is going to be best in slot for some melee builds, not counting Mage Blood of course. Now what about rings? Well, good leveling uniques are Blackheart and Le Hoop of All, but Praxis take the cake with -2 total mana cost of skills. When on maps, you want to search for rares with life, resistances including chaos, flat physical, vulnerability on hit, melee damage, and skills have -2 total mana cost from Elrond. A good craft for rings is to get a steel ring with Warlord influence and spam some aetheric fossils. You should get vulnerability on hit every 10 tries or so, depending on your luck. Once you hit it, if you have an open suffix and an open prefix, you can craft Suffix Cannot Be Changed and Reforged Crit with Harvest for guaranteed crit multi. Now it is up to you if you want to burn more money by doing Suffixes Cannot Be Changed and Reforged Physical to try to get Flat Fist plus Life or any other mod. If you fill the prefixes, you will need to YOLO Annul though. But if you manage to get Flat Fist and any other good enough mod and still have an open prefix, you can go Elrond Craft minus total mana cost of skills and GG. A unique option could be going with Circle of Guilt with Halal of Purity buff effect and increased physical damage. In terms of body armor, Tabula Rasa is best in slot, but on League Start that's very unlikely. Other uniques which might help you level will be 1000 ribbons for a bunch of flat damage and resistances, Foxshade if you have enough dexterity. If nothing drops, just look for life and resistances. When on maps, you want to check how pricey is Belly of the Beasts. If it's too much, grab a rare with high life, resistances and chance to avoid elemental ailments. Endgame uniques depend on your build. For example, if you are stuck in Strength, you want the Iron Fortress. If you are stuck in Frenzy Charges, you want Replica Farrulls. So it's up to you. But generally, you want a rare body armor with life, additional curse, attacks have plus percentage to a critical strike chance, and socketed attacks have a -2 total mana cost. That will be perfect. And finally, we'll have to talk about amulets. For leveling, you want Karui Ward for dexterity and movement speed, or the Ignomon for dex, flat fire to attacks, res and accuracy. But the best are no doubt Dareso Salute and Carnage Heart, which can be equipped at level 20 until red maps. I would not replace those with rare amulets until I had enough currency to get life, resistances, physical damage to attacks, crit multi and attributes, which they can be really expensive. Other mods on amulets can be increased melee damage, melee strike range, damage while leeching, or aura reservation efficiency. Broken Strangle Gasp with good anoints are also a good option. Not cheap though. If I want to have a better experience while leveling Slayer, I will choose first to go with Brutal Fervor or maybe Impact, and then I will pick any other one. If you're playing a champion, you have two choices. If you're playing Impale and you want to benefit from armor, you can go first with Master of Metal, but a very good option could also be going Fortitude and Unstoppable Hero. In terms of the Gladiator, if you are playing a Bleed class, I will go first with Gratuitous Violence and then to Jagged Technique. But if you are carrying a shield and you prefer some defenses, you can go first with Determined Survivor and More Than Skill. It's up to you. If you are playing the Juggernaut, I would go first with Unstoppable so I cannot get stunned, and then the other ones. If I'm playing the Berserker, I would go with Crave the Slaughter and then Rite of Ruin. If Rage is not that good right now, I will simply go first with Flawless Savagery. And the last one is Chieftain. I will simply go to Thassalio's Cleansing Water and then to Balakos Storm Embrace, pure defenses and then the rest. And I feel like this is pretty much all you need to know to have a better understanding of what it involves to leveling up a melee physical character. Obviously, if you are following another content creator's guide, just stick to it, because that one is specifically tailored for you. So have this one as a backup to just have a little bit more information on your journey, okay? So I have just two things to say to you before closing this video. First, if you are following a guide on YouTube from a content creator, please read all the POV, all the comments, and watch the whole video. We cannot say that the build doesn't work if we didn't actually read all the information or watch the whole video. I've seen a lot of times people complaining in the comments because a build doesn't work or has some problems, but they don't have the right uniques, they don't have the right rares, and then you watch the video and it's all explained there. So if we are going to hold the content creators to a high standard of build crafting, us as people who watch them should have high standards about how we process that information. We have to read everything, we have to watch the whole video, and we have to give proper feedback. So remember, we are asking them to create builds for a game which is not easy at all. If it were easy, you will be creating your builds yourself. That's the first thing I want to say. And the second one, remember that now we have a lot more mechanics during the campaign. And one of those is actually having a lot of Quicksilver Flask early in Act 1, which I explained here. So take a look at that one and see you on League Launch. Have a great day. Un abrazo.